Conakry, where we were, no, from there to Guinea-Bissau, where when we were lodged by Louis Cabral. He was, then they had just got their independence.
Louis Cabral of PAIGC.
That's right.
Very well.
That's right. That was the Luzon voyage that we were at.
What was specifically this trip about?
Oh, specifically this trip was, I think, for the President Jawara to bring together President Senghor and President Sekou Touré together, because there was a
friction between the two.
Exactly.
Now let me take you back to telecoms, because we will later on have to look at telecommunications yesterday and telecommunications today. Yeah. Inasmuch as it was in the, shall I say, the analog period at that time, now we're moving and we're thinking of moving gradually to the digital world. You had quite a satisfactory network at the time. It was something convenient to you and you were able to manipulate it.
Very convenient, because we have qualified people to manipulate the system, because it was the days of the Reuters news agency, and we were the only country in West Africa that was receiving Reuters at 35 watts a minute. 35 watts a minute. We were not using machines, but we were able to get Reuters and then pass it on to Pa Peters and Uncle Badulo to disseminate the information all over the Gambia.
Reuters is a news agency, by the way.
Yeah.
Very well, very well. Yeah. And you received news from Reuters,
yes,
pass it to Badulo, who was responsible at Radio Gambia, and to Mr. Peters, who was a journalist, I suppose he was.
Exactly.
Very well, sir, very well. And the telephone, the actual calling of people, 1,000 lines, was that concentrated in the urban area, or did we have telephones in the rural areas as well?
You see, the 1,000 line was also concentrated to the rural area, because then we had the VHF, very high frequency, was coming in, and then we did the survey for 2 years, we did the installation, and we managed for over 30 years in the province, because then I think most of these, we have subscribers in the province, we have subscribers in Georgetown, Kuntaur was a headquarters, Georgetown, Bansang, Basse, Mansekonko, and all those areas had subscribers. Then the lines were extending. We started running overhead lines, all over the country and so on. So they were able to feed on that limited lines we had at that time. Yes, Peter.
Let me call the names of two people and see how you got along with those people. Bakari Njai, he was managing director of Gamtel. I'm sure before you retired, you must have worked very closely with him. The other person I wanted to quote his name is Yankuba Touré. He was at one time a radio engineer at Radio Gambia. Later on, he was actually deputy permanent secretary here at the Ministry of Communication Infrastructure. Now he's at Pura on consultancy there. I was told that when you went to, what was the school again? In fact, GTT, I came off that school though.
Oh, that's the vocational
training center. I was told that it was Sewu Sabali who was the only one who failed your exams. And Seal Johnson was there as well. Seal Johnson.
Yeah, Seal just came later on.
Very well, very well. But is it true that Sewu Sabali was the only one who failed your exams?
Well, in fact, I cannot ascertain that, because Bakari Njai was in charge of that school.
Very well.
And you are bringing me back to 1964, when Bakari came to telecoms as a trainee, and they all work under my workshop, Sekou Sabali and Yankuba and all these boys, Malik Njok at the airport, and most of these boys.
That's Malik Cham.
Malik Cham, yes, Malik Cham. And I am glad, I'm very proud of them. Sometimes when they see me in the mosque, they take $100 and put it in my pocket,
They should put more than that.
I've gone well with them.
Very well, sir, very well, very well.
Yes, Bakari came there, and he used to be a great admirer of me, because in those days, that was the days we sailed to Spain, and he used to listen my radio signals with the Europeans, because then they were on the other end in Banjul when I was on board the ship. So he was very, 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 very impressed, by me, and we worked together. I partly trained him in the workshop, traveled with him many times in the province, and then later on he went to England, qualified, came back and was teaching in the school, and later on he joined us in telecommunication, and ranked up to the directorship. Mm. We were the backbone of telecommunications because we were holding the system when these boys were in England learning. That is why we had so much grip in telecommunications. Never mind wherever you come from. We have the grassroots of telecommunication. Yes.
With all those experiences that you have in telecommunications, what will you today when you see so many networks, GAMCell, AfriCell, QCell, Comium, whatever the cell is called, and sometimes you find calling people a bit difficult. You ring a number before the phone is picked up. It takes a while. What are you observing now?
Yes, at the beginning, I used to say to myself that when they go on selling SIM card, it's a commercial company. I said, oh, it's going to be when a lorry is overloaded. I think partly it's due to overloading and the system is also...
Excuse me, you want to say that when you have so many subscribers, it wears down on the system?
Yeah, it causes congestion. So it causes some setback because the system is so much congested. It's just like when you overload a vehicle.
Of course, it's like when I want to put Mamur on my back. Mamur is very heavy. I cannot put, if I want to put Mamur on my back, I will not be able to move.
And not only that, when there are other factors that are cropped in which are not noticeable by many people that work in this system.
Good, yes. So that's one point.
Yes.
Overloading the system.
That's right.
Another thing, what do you think about the antennas?
Not coming back to I'm not getting into the antennas, but I must explain it so lucidly so that the layman may understand what I am talking about before I come to the professional area. There are four factors that are affecting our present telecommunication network, which is not noticeable, or it is not easy to notice unless you have done point-to-point networking and you have served a very long time, gathered a lot of experience in telecommunications
to be able to
detect that.
Very well, very well.
What I can explain to the layman is in this country, we build our houses and we use 12mm corrugates to corrugate our houses. This can only last for 10 years because there are four factors that are affecting us in this country, in Africa. We suffer from the heat of the sun, we suffer from rains, we suffer from cold season, we suffer from the breeze from the sea, which is mixture of
water and salt.
Water and salt,
very well.
Which causes corrosion, which deposits under these overlapping corrugates. That after 10 years you have to change your corrugate because it's all ruined, corroded. So this is what happens to us, and this is also what happens to our system of communication in the Gambia. How do we detect that? We have, in our days, we have test meters that you can put across the transmitter and the equipment room. No, you put across the equipment and the antenna, and you can see your forward power and your reflected power. And if your forward power is equivalent to your reflected power,